Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Aries June 2024 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel St. James, clairvoyant, and what a joy to see you. Welcome back to subscribers. You know I always love seeing you each month. Truly I do. You're like my extended family. Now, this month we have a deck that you might be familiar with. It was given to me some years ago. Dream Keeper's deck is what it is. And I hadn't used it I used it for the first time about 6 months ago. I didn't use it after it was given to me very kindly by the person. The reason is that it originally, the art didn't speak to me, but I took it out about 6 months ago, and it's been a revelation since then. There's been an epiphany, and so I'm very happy to be using it now, and it gets excellent results. Now, of course, you would know that I have, over the course of the last month, done a number of one-on-one clairvoyant readings for people from different parts of the world. Now, the clairvoyant reading is not tarot. Maybe I'll use a little tiny bit of it in there, but it's not. It's really the clairvoyant the spiritual gift of clairvoyance that's put to use there. And if you're interested in something like that, and I do them over FaceTime and Skype for people all around the world, then just check out the information that's in the description at the end of the video. Now, what I don't charge for, I have to charge for clairvoyant readings, but what I do not charge for is another spiritual gift that was bestowed upon me at birth, which is that of healing. Now, healing has been provided to me where I act as the fiber optic cable between being itself and you, maybe, where the healing energy comes through me and not from me. You would understand that. Now, the interesting thing about that particular gift is that I am to receive nothing in return for it. And so it is for free. There's no obligation, there's no catch. You won't be sold or recommended anything, and you won't be talked into having a reading with me. Nothing at all like that. And the details of that are in the description as well. Don't be shy. If you have anything which is physical, emotional, or any other concern, just reach out. I'm obliged to provide it, if you know what I mean, for free. Now, let's get the cards underway, shall we? And see what there is in store for you for this month. I love this deck. Now, I do anyway. So let's see what there is. You're jumping out, whatever you are, and it is this, the Five of Swords. Really good art in here, I think. This is Ace of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. Well, in just a second you'll get to see this up close. There is the Four of Swords. Very interesting. See here, finally, there is the Creatrix. The Creatrix, well, we'll have a look at that in just a second. So I'll bring the camera around. Why don't you, as is our usual practice, come and sit down here next to me. You and I can have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together while the energy speaks to us both, and I'll do the reading for you. What a great month it looks like for you. Lots of energy, creativity, and you grow and become stronger. Now, these are connected, so are these, and there's this one in the middle here. I'm going to start with this row here. I'm just interested to have a look at this woman who is the center of the painting that's here. Well, she's standing up in the, well, it looks like she's floating in the air, doesn't it? Above a really well-kept garden with this lush dress that blooms up out of a rose by the looks of it. Now, this thing here, this collar that she's got, it is fashioned in the powerful symbol of the pentagram. Now, the pentagram, as you would probably know, represents the balance of the five elements comprising the physical body, being earth, which is matter, air, which is your breath, fire, energy, water, as you can see around in these clouds here, being fluids, and the ether, or the psyche, that soul or spirit. Now, it looks like here that she's really a very powerful symbol suggesting a mastery of manifestation and the ability to bring about that which is desired by your mind or heart, as well as your ability to persevere and sustain it. Now, there is a lot of Aries all over this, I have to say. It doesn't surprise me really, but I think that also Gemini and Taurus are going to be important for you. Now, you should expect a new beginning or a new way of looking at things that makes you ready for a life which is richer, both outwardly and inwardly. Now, this ace here, it really expresses material force working in the physical realm that is going to allow you to reach tangible, proper results. I think it's fair to say that your harvest here can be assured. There is the potential here for your enterprises, your work, your desires to flourish. A wealth and abundance is the basis of this very practical energy. Now, building a firm and stable base for growth, it really is possible now. Whether this means a financial stability, or starting a new project, or a new or existing relationship becoming more secure. There really is here the seed. Aces are seeds. They're about potential, of productivity. You've planted the seed, and the time is now right to build upon a foundation that you've set, making sure that it is practical and centered. Now, at this time, you shouldn't look for any over-the-top answers, but keep a clear, rational approach, and that is going to allow you to develop your potential. Now, this ace, it draws down earthly enrichment into you, and it leads you into the fullness of life. I think you should really now just really enjoy the wonderful things in material existence and also enjoy your body. And breathe everything in. Let your senses go on overload, because your dreams can really turn into something practical, and your efforts are going to be fruitful and bring you a greater prosperity. So this is really, I think, mirroring your readiness to live a life that is both inwardly and outwardly rich. All that you need is already at hand. So give yourself up to the fulfillment and the fullness of life. And remember, you were born with wings, so use those wings. Now, what areas of your life would you like to make richer? Work intensively on discovering and developing your potential, your inner wealth. And say this to yourself: wealth is my natural condition. It allows me to express my spirituality and creative potential in this world, and I am in harmony with the flow of nature. Yes, you really do have the great ability to pull down from the abstract realm those things that you need to create. Why am I getting that? That was said there, and look, have a look at, well, this is an interesting take on the Magician card, I think. But when I say that you're in the position to pull down from the abstract world, look at these two figures. They are abstract forms of this woman herself, the creatrix, which normally is called the Magician, of course, and what a great take it is on it. Now, this is about creation and making things happen. Now, this is really a picture for me of the cosmic energy of the universe, the unified field from which all things emerge and become manifest. Now, there's a downward facing triangle that you can see there, and that represents really the female. If you look at the female genitals when a woman is just standing up, it has that shape there, doesn't it? Well, that represents the feminine principle. It is the source of life, and the element of water, which you see here. And it can also be referred to as the chalice, actually. Now she's making with her fingers here an upward pointing triangle here. Now this upward facing triangle represents intense ambition, the element of fire, and the masculine principle. Now the presence of both of these triangles, they are the meeting of opposites. They are what is required to intensify the power of each other and the space where they meet. That is the central point of awareness and creation. Now, in a sense, this energy here, as you can see it from these astral-like bodies that are there, it's an energy that's poised between the conscious and the unconscious. This woman, this energy, is the shaper and the creator of reality. Now this gives her, I think, the power to dip into the yet unformed, unconscious world and to weave the threads to influence the becoming of things which are within it. You can do it. Now because she has shown up, and particularly under that ace, it means that you can now tap into your creative vitality and talent. Now, whether that's to control a situation or to create a new one, or in order to conceive or develop something that you desire. Now, she's telling us, and this energy is confirming to you, that you do now have absolute power to change things according to your will. Believe it, believe it, believe it. That could be a new venture or a desire that you want to have fulfilled. You have got to intensify positive thought and expand your belief. And when I say belief, really believe, totally, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And if you also use dedication and creative ingenuity to mix with that very intense ambition that you have, you'll be able to make what is possible into what is. So you should use your personal genius now to merge with the fluid substance that transmits activity and energy. I think that if you immerse yourself into her power, you will become a lightning rod, attracting what you desire, and in turn shaping the world around you to bring about this desire. Now, rather than just a forceful thinking and intellectual dedication to it, it's sort of like a carefree, matter-of-fact, I expect it belief. That's the secret to this energy. I expect it to happen and do what is going to make it happen. Now, just as you know that blood is red, knowing rather than hoping, hoping's such a wishy-washy word, knowing that you'll receive what you desire, that's the key. Because you are the center and the origin of your own reality. Your life is what you think it is. So you definitely have now at your disposal brilliant capabilities which you should share with other people. Get a good, sensible surrounding for you, one that's comfortable and allows you to relax and come up with these ideas. Where do your talents lie? Concentrate on what you are good at. Minimize what you are not good at. And remember this, you create magic when you use your inherent gifts and talents. The full expression, you should say, of my creative potential fulfills me, and it makes me happy and satisfied and fulfills the will of the cosmos. Now this watery mix of fire and water here, somebody that you know Water and fire, this is the King of Cups, of course. Let's have a look at him. Water and fire don't mix, so this could well be somebody that you know. And there's a great deal, because water and fire don't mix, expect there to be some conflict in the person's personality. Here, there's a man standing above a city, and in the traditional artistic way, I suppose, he's got a moon for a head. Now remember, the moon is not the source of light, is it? The sun is. And this king is not the source of light, but he's the reflection of it. Now, it could well be the king of your heart or the queen of your heart, because these court cards can be of either gender. And this is someone who could well be wise and understanding, someone who's in tune with their emotions, and who is the master of them. But I do get the feeling here that this is someone who needs constant reassurance of themselves that they are good. Someone who is maybe insecure, I've got to say. This is a person who can be aloof, rarely allowing himself to be swept aside in a tide of feelings, really. Appearing calm and relaxed, sort of detached in a way, because I'm getting Aquarius around here, and that's the fixed sign of air, so it can be quite detached, but there's emotion there from Pisces, which I also see around here as well. Now, we can outwardly appear calm and relaxed, but I don't know that he's actually... His outward coolness, I suppose, does not mean he does not feel, because there is actually a current of love running through his veins. In a sense, he's able to bewitch you. What else might I say about this person that's coming up here? Look, this is someone who's very sensual, I think, but very kind of hard to pin down. Very hard to put them around. This sort of mysterious. Now, he actually characterizes the positive energy of water, which is coming from Pisces. And that's a dynamic and strong aspect to him. But this can make him quite visionary and make him a powerful enchanter of the heart. His intoxicating imagination, his almost poetic inspiration can work its way into you. Now, as a channel between the fire of the conscious ego and the watery unconscious emotions, he's able to seek to make reality turn into his own image. He can be very elusive, seductive, kind of, as I say, hard to pin down. He's very ambiguous. But deep down, I think he's actually quite shallow. His name is written in water. He has a very enticing eroticism about him, or her, being very sultry. But there's a sinister side here as well. This person can be deeply sensual, can be very romantic, and actually can be very hedonistic in their behavior. He is able to pull you in. It's almost as if he can cast a spell over you. Very inscrutable. And he is someone who can suck in and absorb energy from you as well. Now, I must also say, I think that this is somebody with commitment issues. They're attracted to excitement. And sometimes they can just really, just irrationally become enthusiastic about somebody or something. Sensitive, but shallow is what I'm getting here as well. Now, at best, this person can be loving, generous, supportive, and tender. And I will say this about them, and the lesbian and gay members of the audience, please make the necessary adjustment. This is somebody who likes the opposite sex, and the opposite sex loves them. Someone who's ruled by emotion, not really practical, I don't think, but intensely insecure and needing reassurance. And at worst, this is someone who is unfaithful, shallow, highly emotional and unreliable. But I think you yearn for an intensive interchange with those of a like mind and outlook to you. Now, how can you bring that about? Find that true circle of comrades with you. You can now find the supportive and enriching contact that you need. Now let's have a look at that other row, shall we, and deal with this rather interesting looking woman here. This is the Five of Swords. What have I got here? Well, I've got Venus in Aquarius, I've got to say. Well, I haven't mentioned that in just a second. That's the astrology that's coming around it. Well, as you do, she has octopus arms. And she's hanging from a fishing hook, which means, see, there's the thing, she's on a fish hook, which means that life could have a few things that you need to deal with. Now there's a crazy looking landscape going on here. The waters are all, it looks like very unstable waters around there. And who are these two fishermen who are looking here as if they are in the other realm? I think what's happening is, this is, if you like, witnesses, whether here or elsewhere, that are looking to see how you deal with things in order to grow and in order to become stronger and to fulfill your soul contract here. Now, if you look at her eyes, doesn't she look like an absolute Aries there? Fiery, determined eyes that are going on, so she is not somebody to be trifled with at all. And the octopus itself, as you will know, is actually an extremely intelligent and adaptable animal itself. Now, I did say, did I not, that I get the astrology here of Venus being in Aquarius. Now, it's also a number 5. Now, I have a mystical association with the numerology of 5, with the planet of Mars, which is your planet. And a couple of things are important about that. First of all, you know your symbol for Mars is an egg, if you like. I look at it like a golden egg with an arrow coming out of it. That egg symbolizes the potential within you. And if you can think of a baby bird breaking free of the egg, following the arrow in order to come into life and experience life, then there's a lot of strain necessary to break that egg. There's a lot of struggle to break that egg, but it's worth it, isn't it? And this, in a sense, is what I think is going on here with you. You, of course, have Mars at your disposal, and to protect you, Mars actually is also the protector of the universe itself. Now, Venus is a lover and not a fighter, and the planet, or the sign of Aquarius, is a fighter, usually for humanitarian causes, but the fiery energy of Mars kind of beats up on Venus as well. So it's not saying that everything all the time is going to be great, but there are some things that you're going to have to put your shoulder into. Now, I think that what is going on here is that the energy is speaking to you, and it's asking you to look at a situation at hand. Now, when I speak of, we look at fish hooks and things like that and little birds coming out of eggs, this might sound negative at first, but it's not. You might feel that, oh, I haven't got the ability to do something because I could get defeated, or the environment is hostile, that being the shell of the egg, but it's not. I think that it could be an indication here that someone or something is hanging over you like a dark cloud. A selfish or controlling presence. May well be this person that we were just speaking of there, you know. That could make you sometimes feel helpless or defeated. But once you recognize this, you can make changes to defeat it. Now, I think what's going to happen is that the other thing I'll say about Mars is this. Mars is at its best when it is facing opposition. It then comes to the fore. And what this is saying here is that you'll find yourself where you say, I am now in a position to defeat any fear that I have or to defeat any enemies that I have. Because the energy of this card is a power that is aiding you in a sort of a ruthless and decisive victory. Now, it could well be you who are dominating or overpowering somebody else or a situation where maybe you should be taking a more selfless approach. Maybe you could be trying too hard to control a situation by force. Now, I think that there is a sort of a need to go with the flow with this particular issue. There's a need for sort of a passive endurance of a painful experience, an aggravation. A recognition that going through these things creates a reawakening of yourself. When something is difficult, just push through it. And if you keep pushing through it, the difficulty will turn into a lotion that you can rub all over yourself and use as a protective balm against all aggravation. So despite anything that you could be afraid of, be aware that this hardship, as you might think in your mind, is going to make you stronger. Of course, fear is irrational and it doesn't reflect the real situation. But it does actually, though, enliven that deepest part of that animal instinct in your brain, that lizard aspect of the brain. We can't have the fight or flight mechanism. Yeah. That's what the brainiacs say anyway. But I have no doubt that where you do push through here, you are going to have success and victory. Now finally, and rather quickly I'm afraid, because I'm aware of your time, let's have a look at this. Four of Swords. Now this is Jupiter in Libra. Jupiter is coming in a great benefic to bring you power, expansion, peace. Here is a lady lying in a pond, almost like a pond of emotions. The trees around her have the symbols of the elements being, what would that be? That would be earth, that would be air, fire and water. There's 1, 2, 3 ravens that I can see. This raven's holding a halo, which is going to go around you again. You're going to be wearing the halo here. This black cat is actually, it's not bad luck. Black cats are very, very good omens for luck coming your way. It's not bad luck at all. And the moon is coming here and shining. 2 doves come in here. Now, doves are the symbol of Venus, the planet of the other benefic, the planet of good fortune and relationship. You will get through this period, have a time where you get enlivened and where you take some time out of a situation to think clearly about it. Remove yourself from those things for the moment which are causing aggravation or stress to you. Detach from them. Get some balance, which is the Libra aspect, and allow Jupiter to come in and do its work and settle everything down for you. And you will be inspired by the answer, rejuvenated, refreshed, and further able to spend your time in doing what you do best, is looking at what is out there in the future and pushing forward to turn it into something that you own. Fantastic spread of cards, and you did a great job. Well, I said that was an interesting deck, didn't I? And didn't you find it so? I think that this artwork on here is pretty good. Or, you know, I think it's pretty good. No, I don't say that about a lot of tarot decks, but I enjoyed this, and it certainly spoke to me, and I'm sure it spoke to you as well. Anyway, unless I see you privately for a reading or for healing, then I'll see you again here in a month's time, next month. So, until I do see you again, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, it's bye for now.